Alright guys, this is Ice. I'm going to be casting a Zerg versus Protoss here on Metapolis. Metapolis is a standard map, although this is the Pro Circuit version. So, as the blue Zerg, we have LiquidTyler. Liquid is probably the most popular clan on StarCraft, most well known definitely. And over here we have EGIdra, EG standing for Evil Geniuses. And the main thing you'll notice here is the supply depot at the bottom of the ramp. That is, I think, to stop bunker contains, I think was the reason they put it in. I'm not completely sure on that one. So, looks like not going to be seeing an early expansion here by LiquidTyler. Putting a standard pylon here just with the edge reaching to the ramp so he can wall off. Walling off very important, especially against Zerg. Although EGIdra is not known to cheese, he usually prefers longer macro games. LiquidTyler, I can see chrono boosting here. Of course, is the early game, so not much action. One Overlord going to be moving across here, so EGIdra does know that they have spawned in the close positions. However, LiquidTyler knows that also, just because he sees the direction the Overlord came from. And the gateway coming down as standard. EGIdra on 15 supply. We will see what kind of build he's going for. Maybe he'll get the spawning pool up now, or he may go for an expansion. Looks like he may do that with the drone right here. And indeed we are going to be seeing a hatchery before spawning pool. And the good thing about that is if you can basically hold off any enemy attacks, you should be pretty well ahead in terms of economy. So he should get the spawning pool down very quickly. We can see the minerals going to 200. Should be, there we go. Probe, gonna know exactly what build EGIdra went for. EGIdra, as I said before, preferring the long macro games. Gateway just finishing for the Protoss, and we have not seen any cheese by either player. Don't usually see that in the high level games, although it does happen. Cybernetic's core coming across here, blocking off that part of the ramp, leaving just a tiny little space here. I don't think a Stalker can fit there, but a Zealot just be able to hold that position, so Zerglings would not be able to run by. I'm going to put out the production tab here. Spawning pool just finishing, an extractor coming as well. Probably going to be getting Zergling speed with the first 100 gas, or maybe going for an early lair, although that doesn't usually happen. The early Zergling speed is kind of elementary for Zerg players. We can see the hatchery just finishing here. The probe trying to annoy the drones, but going to be repelled. Still moving around here doing some scouting. EGIdra just barely getting the drone past. That Zealot should have been on hold position right there. The drone getting in, seeing there are two assimilators, nothing out of the ordinary. There is only one gateway for the Protoss. So he may be going for an early expansion, a relatively early expansion for himself, just because he noticed that the Zerg player went for a hatch before a pool, and the only way, the counter to that is either to attack early, which he couldn't do because he didn't open with a very threatening build, or he could expand himself. Looks like he will not be expanding, instead getting down 2 more gateways as a response to the early hatchery, and he's going to want to put on some pressure as soon as possible. Onto the mineral line, just to halt any economic advantage EGIdra might have. We can see chrono boosting the warp gate here. That's going to be done very rapidly. Meanwhile, metabolic boost on the way for the Zerg player. As I said, that is fairly common to get that as soon as you have the first 100 gas. And he may be going for a lair as soon as he reaches the next 100. We'll see what happens there. Meanwhile, EGIdra sitting back. No, I don't see any Zerglings on the map. And you know, EGIdra, he's an amazing player just because he knows exactly when to make drones and when to make attacking units. And we can see the first lings coming up here. He's going to need to make several more of those. High sentry count over here. With good force field placement, he could destroy a lot of Zerglings, maybe get into the mineral line as well. We see the expansion coming up here, a 3-gate into Nexus. That's a pretty common build. And over here, a nice force field preventing some reinforcements from the low ground. Meanwhile, trying to focus the spine crawler, although I'm not sure if EGIdra actually cancelled that. He may have lost that. Another spine crawler coming up here right next to the hatchery. Meanwhile, some Zerglings moving down just as some defense, cancelling that spine crawler actually. So you can see it's pretty high level play, just because he realized the attack was not going to press on, and he got back those 100 minerals, going to take that drone back to mining. With the Roach Warren finishing here, 3 overlords on the way for EGIdra. He is supply locked, and looks like he's going to be going for just Roach Lane. No lair is on the way, and he only has 1 gas, so I assume he'll be heavy on the lings with a small amount of roaches, unless he goes for another gas very soon. He will need that if he's planning to go heavy into the roaches. And we see here, maybe moving out. We'll see what happens here with these roaches. That's a fair amount of roaches. May back them up with the zerglings. Although a pretty hefty defense over here. Some more stalkers just warping in to deal some damage from the back, and the stalkers are pretty good against roaches. Zerglings, however, if they do get a surround on the stalkers, will go down very rapidly. Some banelings would destroy these sentries. Although EGIdra not going to be going for a baneling nest, he is only running on 1 gas. And here's the main engagement. Nice force field placement, blocking zerglings from surrounding, and again at the back here. So very nice force field placement. The roaches, although kind of saving EGIdra just because they are ranged units, and running the sentries back into the main base, losing a whole bunch of them. Only 3 left, warping in some stalkers in the back here, some zealots as well. These zerglings are going to be destroying this mineral line. The nexus will probably go down. 1 Phoenix over here just hovering. That may be no, he does have a Stargate. 1 Void Ray is coming out. If he had done that a bit earlier, he may have been able to hold us at that very easily. 1 force field stopping the zerglings from coming up the ramp. More units warping in from the back. Another sentry. He does need to keep on the force fields if he wants to keep this game, although I think EGIdra does have a high chance just because he's expanded again. And we can see down here the Void Ray going to be attacking, although 1 Void Ray is not going to be enough. And he does not have the resources for another one. I think he's starved for gas there. If he'd held on to that expansion just a bit longer, he could have caught up with EGIdra, but nice aggression here, taking down the nexus. And I don't even think he needs to keep the damage on. He could just stay back, and the protoss will fall further and further behind, just because EGIdra is getting a 3rd base and almost finishing off that assimilator. Not very necessary now, because the protoss kind of needs to expand. He does not have the resources to form an army and just attack quickly, and EGIdra is going to be on 3 bases very soon. We can see the protoss just cleaning that up. Not a lot of forces left here at the back. 6 zealots, a Void Ray and a Phoenix. Not going to do it. 1 more zealot warping in. Can't manage much more. Chrono boosting 1 more Void Ray. He could do some damage to the mineral line. Lair is on the way. Probably going to get a Hydralisk Den to counter the Void Ray. Although Spore Crawlers, well, yeah, Spore Crawlers placed around the main base. Should have another one closer to the mineral line. Some oversaturation here, probably in anticipation of this base. Should be moving some drones off. More zerglings running down here to push off a heavy zealot count there. Zealot's very good against zerglings. Roaches to back that up, however, and the queen's being pulled off the line to deal with the Void Ray. 1 Void Ray can kill a queen, but 2 queens just manages to finish the Void Ray, although Phoenix, nice job over here, stopping the firepower from that. And just pulling the Void Ray off at 7 HP. This Void Ray going to be coming in for some backup. Queen looks like it's going to go down. Roaches over here. This queen should be used only for anti-air. He is getting out 2 more queens and 24 zerglings. So EGIdra should not have a problem at all. Not much mining going on over here. Roach is running back. He should probably go to the Protoss base here. Unless he wants to use those as fodder instead of the protoss going into the mineral line. We can see 3 queens on the way for EGIdra. Meanwhile, getting upgrade for the Roach. 8 more drones and the Hydralisk Den just about to finish. As soon as he can pop out some Hydralisk, then he will be pretty much fine. Just after more Hydralisk pop out. 1 Hydralisk on the way. He needs 3 Hydralisks now. He needs about 6 or so at least to complement his queens just to fight off those Void Rays. And if the Void Rays are lost, then that's going to be the end of the game for the Protoss. Zerglings over here, I kind of missed that, not very important. Force field just almost blocking them from leaving. Not doing a significant amount of damage, just to prodding over here while he was being attacked. Mainly Hydralisks on the way now. No more Zerglings or Roaches yet, although a Roach upgrade will be finishing soon. He does have Roaches on the field, 2 Hydras on the way, and we can see just getting over here saturated with a Vespene Gazer, 2 over here, and he does need that to support the Hydralisks and the upgrades. 6 Zerglings, 2 Hydralisks on the way. Meanwhile, as he increases his army, he keeps pumping out more drones, which is very important to keep the economic advantage. Another Nexus is going up here. Looks like EGIdra's not going to be able to take that down just yet. I don't think these... well, I'm not sure if the Void Rays can really save the day for the Protoss. They could definitely do severe economic damage. Spore Crawler, though, Spore Crawlers are at all the bases, and the Hydralisk going to be doing severe amount of damage. Nice using the Graviton beam there. However, looks like it's going to be just a bit too much. Hydralisk and the Queen back there. Void Ray, yeah, it's going to get taken out. Just the last one. Phoenix just barely surviving with 17 HP. And the Roaches and Hydralisk and a couple of Zerglings going to make their way over the Protoss base. It looks like the expansion just finishing. Not sure if he's actually going to get some mining over there or not. However, the Protoss player needs a lot of minerals, and the thing is, if he warps in the last couple units to defend himself, he's not going to be able to continue making workers just because he has so little resources. You can see transferring over here. And looks like this is going to be final attack, and unless there's amazing force field placement, the Zerg player looks like having the clear advantage here. A lot of sentries though. A nice force field straight across, just cleaning up all the units in the front. Gonna give him just a slightly larger amount of survivability. However, there's just too many Zerg units, so more keep warping in. There's a GG from LiquidTyler. So this has been a pretty good game actually. A standard 3-gate, not surviving, against the hatchery before pool. If he'd gone for some super early aggression, he could probably have dealt with that. Nonetheless, good play by both players. And that's going to be it for this cast. Probably going to do some more today or tomorrow, because I haven't uploaded in a while. And that's going to be all for this cast.